Okay, welcome. I'm Kimberly Kaler, president of AOE, and I've gathered some of my favorite people with me today. They all happen to be female engineers, and we're coming to you today just to celebrate Introduce a Girl to Engineering Day, which is February 24th, and it is at the end of Engineers Week. So what a wonderful time to celebrate the field of engineering. As we know, we've made a lot of progress with regard to engineering and the women and growing in roles. But the last stat that I read last night still shows that only about 16% across all engineering disciplines, women are only about 16% making up that field. We know there's been great strides, especially in some of the areas that all of you, my friends, participate in, structural, civil, transportation engineering. So we're thrilled with that. But let's go ahead and meet our panel today. Kim, I'll go to you first. Kim Spahn, feel free to introduce yourself.
Hi, thanks, Kimberly. I am Kim Spahn, and I currently serve as the CEO of the new Concrete Masonry Checkoff program. And I actually chose engineering. I started in architecture, and I realized that the math and science part of architecture is really where my passion lied. And so I moved over to civil engineering.
Awesome, welcome. Thanks for being here. Jackie.
Hi, everyone. Jackie Spohr. I'm currently the president of Wisconsin Concrete Pavement Association. By background, I am a civil engineer. I've been in the heavy highway industry for a couple of decades now, and I was the kid that grew up with Legos and loved Lincoln Logs. So I appreciate seeing things built from the ground up.
Wonderful. And Ann Ellis.
Hi, everybody, and thanks for including me today. My name's Ann Ellis. I'm CEO of Ellis Global, and I'm a structural engineer by background, but I don't do much structural engineering these days. I sit on a lot of boards, and I advise CEOs and other industry executives on the business side of engineering and construction. I came to engineering for the same reason a lot of people do, male and female, and that is I was just really good at math. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And my church youth group advisor was a mechanical engineer, and he said, "You are going to become an engineer."
Awesome, and we're thankful for that. And I will do a little plug for Ann. She was the first female engineer that was president of the board for the American Concrete Institute. So real trailblazer here. Kristen Braden.
Good afternoon, I guess. I'm Kristen Braden. I'm a managing director for Answer Advisory. We're a construction management company. We do a lot of work on all different kinds of capital projects. So like Jackie, it's all about seeing the construction and seeing things get come out of the ground and get built. Math and science, like everyone else, yes, I loved it. Just the logic of it all. And I also had a father who was an engineer, so I don't know if that was, genetic or being voluntold, but I do.
Awesome. Well, we're thankful for that. And then Angela.
Hi, Angela Folkstad. I am the executive director of the Colorado-Wyoming chapter of the American Concrete Pavement Association, counterpart of Jackie's. And I kind of fell into engineering because of that math and science interest and ability, and got pushed towards it by my high school teachers. So really happy to have found that, and then found the construction industry as a result of my degree in civil engineering. So I also have found a lot of satisfaction with being able to build things and seeing things happen from the ground up.
Wonderful. Thanks, Angela. So a lot of you mentioned math and science, so that may be a great place for us to start with a question just related to those that are watching. How can you inspire a young girl? How can you help her, introduce her to the field of engineering? What are some things that you, the panelists, recommend? And I'm just going to go around, and Kim, I'll start with you.
Okay, thanks, Kimberly. So I do have a daughter, and we love building projects around the house. So I love to get my hands dirty and just bring her along into that. So I'd encourage you, if you have young girls in your lives, that you just include them in those projects around your house. Both my kids also go to a STEM school. It's a great way to expose them to those opportunities. And I think as she gets older, a great way will be really to shadow and intern other engineers so that they get a good feel for what's out there and what opportunities exist.
Wonderful. Jackie?
Yeah, I mean, I'll kind of piggyback on what Kim said there. And, you know, I don't have two girls, I got two boys, but I talk about engineering all the time. And I work with like a local university, and we do construction career day. So we bring in different high school students and middle school students, and girls or boys, right? We get them exposed to the industry where they can actually grab a hammer, they can like feel the concrete and see all of that put down. In addition to that, like I volunteer at my kid's school. Not that I have time to do that, but tomorrow I'm actually talking about technology in the workplace. So I don't know if you guys have ever read Eva the Engineer,
No.
but it's a fantastic book that talks about STEM STEM and or STEM programs and technology within the workplace, and talks about the girls and being good at math. And I just think it's just really important to continue to talk about it.
Fantastic. Anne?
Yeah, so similarly, I don't think you can start the conversation too soon. And I started volunteering in my children's first grade classes, doing an exercise on how to make concrete. And every kid got to mix concrete, and I was known as the concrete mom. Maybe not as sexy as the moms that were astronauts in the school, but the kids really enjoyed the tactile nature of it. But as girls grow and mature through high school and college, they are really desperate for role models and people that they feel are accessible to them. So if you're active on social media, it's surprising, you know, people will just reach out and strike up a conversation. I always encourage women, you know, to try to respond, make the time for it so that they can see what an engineer looks like and hear about what their lives are like. That modeling of behavior is very powerful.
Thanks, Anne. And we'll actually dive into that question next. I wanted to, tackle the question of what do we do once we get them into college and young careers. So that's a great jumping off point. Kristen, I want to hear from you about those young girls. And I know you have one. So
I do. I have a girl and a boy, my daughter's 7 and my son is 5. And I think the one thing, obviously exposing them to math and science is so critical. There's all kinds of great programs out there, Number Blocks. I mean, unfortunately, that is like our most played album in our house, according to Apple Music. So we know the times tables and all of that good stuff. So I think any way you can expose them, especially in a fun way, there's so many great ways to do that. But more than anything with girls is try to encourage breaking those gender stereotypes with toys. I mean, I grew up loving Matchbox cars and putting together track and all of that kind of stuff. And I think it's really important to make sure that we don't fall into that trap of, oh, this is a toy for a girl or a toy for a boy. Really encourage people or encourage your kids to branch out and figure out what do they really enjoy doing. And, followed up with explanations. I mean, we have conversations as we're letting the marble roll down the track of why is it rolling? It's about gravity. It's about, all these different things. So embracing those explanations, embracing the questions, but again, just ignoring the gender stereotypes when it comes to toys.
great advice. Angela?
Kristen, I really appreciate that you said that about ignoring the gender stereotypes, because I have 2 boys just like Jackie, and I try to do that in my own life with my boys, to help make sure that's happening from my side of things as a boy mom, because we really need to make sure that that everybody understands that anybody can do any of these roles. One opportunity that I had to mentor, I really appreciate having had that early in my career with a high school situation. It was a STEM program. They were looking for mentors in engineering careers and architecture. And so getting to work with those high school students was really beneficial. And I've had the opportunity since to get back in a high school classroom and share, what I do as far as STEM careers, but then also on the construction side. So I think any opportunity we have to, to share what we're able to do and lead by example and give people that career path to follow. I think we need to do that and really push for that education to be happening in our high schools.
Awesome, Angela. And that's a nice jumping off point then for if we're able to get engineer or girls pointed in the direction of engineering, how do we support them through college, through their young careers? Kim had actually sent me a note yesterday saying that many women leave engineering in college because they don't see the mentors or they, feel isolated in some way. So I'll do reverse order this time. Angela, anything you want to build on from high school on that you'd like to offer? And I know you do mentor. You have a younger female engineer in your office.
I do. I have 100% female staff, so I'm really excited about that opportunity and extremely qualified people that I've been able to surround myself with. So it's been awesome. But I think as far as the college side of things, I was fortunate being in the civil program. That was probably the highest percentage of females, so I was able to find engineers and really get we supported each other, so I think that was pretty valuable for us in staying together in that engineering field. So I think looking to people who are around you for support, and then also searching out people who maybe just asking someone to be your mentor, which can be kind of intimidating when you're younger, but there are so many people who want to help, so maybe just taking that first step, asking someone about their career, finding out how they got where they are, and and looking to follow that where you have interest.
Wonderful. Kristen, over to you. So what can we do to support them when we get them captured?
Well, I think, Kimberly, you and I have talked about this before. I think succession planning and making sure that, we're identifying ways to bring women with us as women start to move up in organizations. We can pull more seats up to the table. And I think that's something that's really, really important, and making sure that we're looking at not just the person who, is standing right there as the next person up for a job, but really being thoughtful about how we're going about identifying people to move up and making sure that we have a game plan for them. So, when it comes to making sure that we have enough women in higher levels of organizations, the one thing that I've heard from some leaders is succession planning. That way it's not just right place, right time. This way we're actually planning, and we can make sure that we have more diversity as we start to move up. We're giving those people those opportunities, and we're also giving them the right training and support and tools so that they can move into those positions.
Wonderful, Kristen. And I know I have appreciated our conversations. I know you've been involved in some really deliberate programs related to this, which is great. So, message to those employers that are listening to look at from an HR perspective, what are some programs you can put in place? Jackie, what are your thoughts on this topic?
All right, well, I'm going to jump off what Kristen said, because I am one of those individuals that's part of a succession plan. So I am just finishing off a 3-year succession plan where I took over last April for a company that's been around since 1952. So going in, instead of just like you said, right place, right time, being able to have that mentor, right? And then allowing myself to build my team very similar to Angela was talking about, of the right people that create a really great working environment. And sometimes you just need encouragement, right? So keeping the ladies there and just saying, hey, you're doing a great job, just a pat on the back, and we believe in you, and just keep encouraging them to chase their passions, because we are powerful people, especially when we work together.
Wonderful. Anne.
Yeah, so my career has been quite a bit different, and the fact that for much of my career I was always the only woman in the room. So I've really appreciated the emergence of more women. And in fact, I was at the National Institute of Building Sciences industry leaders meeting this week, and there were 4 other female engineers in the room, and that's pretty significant because there was 30 people in the room. So the importance of being encouraging at the high school level, definitely at the college level. And, I think people think that often the demographic is a younger demographic, but it's surprising how many more mature people come back to school, later in life, and they choose engineering, and they too are looking for mentors, that people that look like them, and that people that can help them plan their career. So I think being accessible to those people as well, recognizing that engineers, the demographic is changing considerably. And I think the other thing too is, and something I work really hard with my clients, is making sure that they are building a culture in their company that will not only attract women, but keep women in the business and in the engineering space.
Wonderful. Kim.
Yeah, thanks. So I'm going to kind of build on what everybody is saying, and that's mentorship. I've had some amazing mentors throughout my career. And honestly, most of them are men, because that's what is around us in this field. And so I would give a call to action to those men in this field to really bring a sense of belonging and a sense of encouragement to those ladies that you have an effect on, and that you may have a sense of authority over them anyways. That sense of belonging has helped me thrive. And just knowing that the things that I'm doing, the things I'm accomplishing, are really making a difference and helping us drive our industry forward. So.
Wonderful answer. So we will wrap up with any final thoughts each of you had, and I'd love for you to answer what's the best part about being an engineer. So Kim, we'll go back to you.
Okay, perfect. So I would say the best part about being an engineer is that as a woman, we're very relational. And while engineering school and maybe early in our careers is very technical, as we progress in our careers and we move up, business in general is all about relationships. And so I think part of being a successful woman is because we can build and leverage those relationships effectively to accomplish a lot of great things.
Wonderful answer. Jackie.
That was a great answer, Kim. I love that. Building on that too, I mean, we're fantastic problem solvers. So using those interpersonal skills and those relationship skills, and finding the solution that works for everybody. I think we have an ability to not look directly at a situation, but look at the overarching problem and be able to solve it a little bit better.
Kristen.
Well, one of the good things about being an engineer is that we're adaptable. We can deal with adversity and figure out ways to solve that problem. Obviously solving problems is, that's what we do for a living. So I love the fact that no matter what part of engineering you're in, you're solving problems for individuals as well as for society as a whole. When it all comes down to it, when push comes to shove, the world's problems get solved by us. And, that's such a neat thing to be a part of.
That is a really neat thing. Angela, go to you.
All right. I have to say the relationships part of it, especially with the work I do right now, is huge. And being able to bring people together to solve problems and come to consensus on things. I think, women have a special ability that way a lot of times that we can bring that consensus together and get to a solution sometimes a lot faster. So I really appreciate that part of what I do right now, in addition to the problem solving.
Wonderful. And then Anne, we'll finish off with you.
I think for me, it's no 2 days are the same, and building on that, the opportunities that are available to engineers, whether you want to be in design or you want to go on the business side or you want to travel and do big projects or little projects. My career has taken me to 40 of the 50 United States and 35 countries. And I've been on every continent except Antarctica, and it's all related to my career. So, it's really the engineering world presents a multiplicity of opportunities to men and women, and it's up to you to capitalize on them.
Wonderful. So I want to thank all of you for joining me today. It is a great honor that I've been in this industry, though I'm not an engineer. I work with engineers, and I'm thrilled to be able to call all of you friends and see what you do to push our industry forward and change the face of engineering for our entire industry. So thank you for that from the bottom of my heart. And for all those that are watching, introduce a engineer or introduce a girl to engineering day again, February 24th. Let's continue to build this industry together. Thank you.
Thank you.